good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rants with Ray. My name is Rayniecemitchell, and of course, I am here because I have a message from God. Happy Friday! Happy Friday, or whenever you guys are getting a chance to listen to it. It is currently August 8th, 2025. OMG, you guys, I'm so excited. My brother's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Rain my big brother. I miss him oh so very much. Words can't even describe. But right now is a very special time, a very, very sensitive time in the spirit. Um, for everyone, whether you're aware of it or not. I've kind of been going along with this same theme of a message all week. Really, I honestly would say like for the past 3 months, but specifically, I feel like this week has been a direct chronological order of what's the word I'm trying to say? Order of events or order of videos, whatever the case may be. But basically, all the messages and the videos that I did this week tie in together with each other. And as you can see from the title, it says restored, renewed, and replenished in God. And you guys, I got this message because of I kept seeing the time 4:56, right? 4:56 and 3:45. It's always those two sets of numbers that I'm seeing on a consistent basis recently. And I felt led to look up not the angel numbers. As I used to be into angel numbers, I'm not gonna lie, but as I've been growing closer in relationship with God, and really God has been revealing certain things to me of what's what and why it is the way it is, and a lot of things it's like the enemy has, what's the word? The enemy takes whatever God does and perverts it. He has a false version of what he does, even with like the terminology of things. Like a lot of the terminology that they use in New Age, all this stuff been in the Bible. Because I used to be into the New Age stuff heavy, and God has just been revealing to me slowly why those certain things are counterfeit and how it's copying what's originally in the Bible. So, but that's a whole nother direction of a story. But basically, I was looking up God led me to look up the Hebrew Strong's Concordance of 456 and the Greek's Strong Concordance of 456. And I also looked up the concordances for 345 as well. So, y'all, when I looked up the meaning of 456, it was so, I was like, God, you are so good. Hold on, let me go to it. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you all are doing well on this Friday. But it says Strong's number 456 in the Hebrew lexicon corresponds to the word Elihorep. Oh, I can't pronounce that, y'all. But basically, it is translated as Elohoref. It is a proper masculine noun meaning God of autumn or God of winter, in parentheses, harvest time. In the Old Testament, it refers to one of Solomon's scribes. Hold on. I don't know if this was the right one I was supposed to read. Okay, no. Okay, so oh, that was right, y'all. My bad. Okay. So basically, it means the God of autumn, the God of winter, and harvest time. And then when I clicked on the actual link to go on the website to read like deeper into it, God was giving me like harvest time. You see how it says God, it means God of autumn, God of winter. You guys, we're in summer, we're about to move into autumn. Well, fall. We're about to move into the fall. And then after fall, it will be winter. So for 456 to literally mean God of autumn or God of winter, and then in parentheses, harvest time, we're in summer moving and transitioning into fall, and then after fall will be winter. And what God was telling me was get ready because you guys are about to move and transition into your harvest season. Get ready because the seeds that you have planted are getting ready to bloom and blossom beautifully. And it's it's so important right now to tune in, tap in and tune into whatever God is, asking you to do or asking you to not do or to stop doing. It's best to just really tune into God's presence so he can lead, so God can lead you on what to do next. Because with this period being so sensitive, it's sensitive because you're gonna get, if you're listening, you're going to receive the directions and the guidance to get to the door of the next season so you can walk through, right? But if you're not tapped in, you won't be able to hear God's voice. You won't be able to hear the direction from God because you're not tapped in. You're too distracted. You're worried with other things. So you will notice how, like, okay, all week, strangely, like, things have been working out to where I have not, like, I won't be able to eat till the very end of the night. Like, I'm literally going off of water all day. And anybody who knows me, they know I do not play about my food, y'all. I do not. I am, yeah. God, thank God that he has delivered me from gluttony, but I used to really, really struggle with that. And my body will like start, like, I'll start to get a really, really bad migraine if I go all day without eating. So whenever I do a fast, like, I never really just do a dry fast. I have to do, like, incorporate like water, a smoothie, something. And these past few days, I have been realizing I haven't been having anything to eat or drink. Well, I would have water. And I was like, wow, God had me like unconsciously fasting. And in the midst of that, like throughout my day when I would be riding around and working, God would just whisper different instructions in my ear, or just different things that he wanted me to pay attention to, that I needed to know, like just exposing different things. And I would not have been able to hear him like in that way if I wasn't already in a place of being receptive to God. You know what I'm saying? Where I wasn't distracted. I was ready. I was sitting in silence. So it was easy for me to hear. I wasn't having no music blasting. I wasn't on the phone. It wasn't all these distractions. And everybody's distractions will be different, you guys. So, apply it how you see fit. But basically, when I was in the midst of sitting in silence and just, because as I was sitting in silence, y'all, weirdly enough, like, it felt like God was already there. Like, I don't know. It was very strange because I normally don't necessarily sit in silence. I may, like how you guys hear the prophetic worship, the prophetic warfare worship music in the background right now. Like, I may have that playing or gospel music, but whenever I sit in silence, which is something that I've like recently started doing this week, y'all, it has helped me gain a new level of clarity and just intimacy with God, So you guys should definitely try that out if you have not already. But yes, when I seen 4, 5, 6 means harvest, God's autumn, God of autumn or God of winter. In harvest time, I just was like, God, you are, you are truly amazing. Like how you really put everything together is just like, it boggles me every time, every single time. So when I looked up what I just gave y'all, the first definition, that was the Hebrew Strong's Concordance, right? So now I'm about to read the Greek's Strong Concordance for the number 456. And basically it says the verb describes the divine act of rebuilding what had fallen into ruin, emphasizing not mere repair, but complete rest. Y'all, hold on, because I didn't even read this. I'm sorry if y'all got on headphones. So wait a minute, because I didn't even read this part. Wait a minute. Hold on. Because I didn't even read this before that part before I hopped my butt on live, before I made that title. Because you see I say like restoration in the title. Hold on. I think I do. Okay, so, yeah, I'm sorry. I got excited. The verb describes the divine act of rebuilding what had fallen into ruin, emphasizing not mere repair, but complete restoration according to God's covenant. Y'all, let me read that one more time for y'all. The Strong's Greek Concordance of 456. The verb describes the divine act of rebuilding what had fallen into ruin, emphasizing not mere repair, but complete restoration according to God's covenant. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. God is saying, get ready for complete restoration. Complete restoration, you guys. Wow, this is so good because I didn't even see that beforehand. But yes, get ready. Get ready. Some major things are getting ready to take place in the fall and in the winter. What I'm hearing in my spirit right now is a lot of you have heard different messages from God or different promises from God and things that God has told you he was going to do this year, right? And a lot of you have been discouraged because not only has it not happened, but your situation is probably worse than what it was before he told you. And you're sitting there wondering like, okay, what is going on? But it's still something deep down inside of you that just won't let you give up, right? Know that God is so proud of you. And this is for you. Don't get it twisted. This is the confirmation that you were looking for. God is getting ready to do some major things for you. Okay? But pray about the things that you are struggling with. If you know that something he's asking you to do is not easy and you have been delaying on doing it, for one, ask for repentance and just ask for God to help you, to have mercy on you, to help you during this process of trying to let go of what you're still holding on to. Because the second you let that thing go, the second your new life will start. And that's for some of you all who are still, holding on to little things and, we all know whatever we're supposed to be doing that we may not be doing the way that God has intended us to. Okay? I ain't here to judge or throw salt, okay? I'm just the messenger. But anyway, I thought that was a really beautiful message for the numbers 4, 5, 6. Considering, like I said, we're about to, for it to mean literally God of autumn, God of winter, and harvest time. We're literally moving into fall. And then after fall comes winter. And God is saying that's when we will receive the harvest. So I don't know, what you all have been waiting for, but you better keep believe and keep doing what you're doing, because you are at a point where you're closer than you've ever been before in your life. I don't care what lies the enemy is whispering in your ear, causing you to be irritated or annoyed or just angry and bitter at God, making you think that God has forsaken you when truly he hasn't. He's just been preparing you for the blessing. Like a lot of times God prepares the blessing for us, but we be forgetting that we be having to get prepared for the blessing. Because a lot of times we be wanting stuff we're not ready for. Seriously. I wanted to be a child star so bad, and I ain't even gonna hold you. I low key, well, not high key, used to be a little bitter, like mad at God. Like, Nick, why am I not on Disney Channel yet drawing the little mouse? This is Disney Channel, and my name is Rayniecemitchell. Like, why? Why don't I have that commercial? Y'all, I was really upset, okay? And when I went back, like, not went back, but when I'm watching all of these child stars from back in the day now tell their stories of different things that have happened to them on set, I literally was like, God, thank you. And I immediately, I literally was like, God, I am so sorry. And I just was thanking him, because I was mad at God for such a long time, because I felt like I always was going after my dreams, and just, why didn't it happen yet? All right. Why? And thank God it didn't, because look, if we look at some of those stars, they are, man, they have been through the ringer, man. They have been through the ringer and been through a lot. They basically had to fend for themselves. And sometimes we don't know what God is protecting us from. And that's why it's important to remain in a space of gratitude at all times, because man's rejection is God's protection. Whether we be wanting to receive it like that at the time or not, you never know what God is protecting you from, okay? So look at this look at this period as a period of preparation and not a period of delay and resentment from God, okay? Okay. Now, moving on to the number 345. So this number, I'm not going to lie, was a little bit tricky. But I felt because I was like, wait, it didn't have like a clear, direct meaning. So originally I was like, I ain't even gonna speak on it no more. I'll just leave it at 456. But in my spirit, before I had got on live, I felt God tell me, no, still mention it. I'm gonna lead you on what to do and what to say when it's time to talk about it. And looking back at that moment and between me and God within myself, I could say, like, I literally was like, okay, I just trusted that he was going to give it to me. It did cross my mind a little, like just a second, but not too long, where I was like stressing or really worrying about it. And I just was like, okay, well, he said he's going to provide, he's going to provide. And literally right before I got done talking about the number 456, he just gave me what to say for the message that he wants me to share with you all for the numbers 345. Yeah, God is so good. So, okay, I was looking up the word 345 and I was a little confused, because I was like, it wasn't a clear, like, direct meaning or like correlation to the message. So I just was like, wait, what? So when you look up the word, I'm at the number 345. What is this? I'm trying to see if this is the Strong's Greek Concordance. Hold on, you guys. 1 second. I thought I already had it pulled up. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Okay, I do have it pulled up. I just like, wait, what? Okay. When I pulled it up, both on like the Strong Greek Concordance and the Strong's Hebrew Concordance, they both, for the most part, say to be laid up, like to recline as if in a chair, to guest, lean, lie, sit down at the table. Like those are the words and definition. And like, I don't know if you guys have ever, you've been in a reclining chair where you kind of lay back, but you're kind of laying back in place. So that's what they say 3, 4, 5 mean. And what God gave me in the midst of trying to understand it on my own, I mean, not trying to understand it on my own, but in the midst of explaining 456 to you all, God was saying 345. It literally says to be laid up, comma, to recline. God is saying that 345 for this message specifically is for the people that would rather be in comfort, that would rather be laid up in the comfort of the past versus the, what's the word? The difficultness of the new. Because people are afraid of the unfamiliar. People are afraid of the unknown. But God is saying, this is the way out. It is no going back to who you used to be. It is no going back down the mountain. Like, you don't get to the top of the, almost to the top peak of the mountain, and literally 5 steps away, you rather go back down. You're gonna have a longer way back down. You're gonna have a much longer way back down than if you would have just took those last 5 steps up, right? So God is saying a lot of people, if they don't get it together before this portal closes, before this spiritually sensitive time, this window of time is closed, you will be laid up, like, and well rested. You wanted to be comfortable so bad, you're going to be so comfortable to where the next time around when this window comes, it's going to be so hard to get up. You thought it was hard this time. When you repeat the lesson, it don't get easier when you repeat it. It gets harder than the last time, y'all. And I know I'm laughing, but I'm dead serious. Like, I'm so serious right now. And I'm only saying this from my own mistakes. Like, I'm literally seeing it. Something that God delivered me from that I started back again and been trying to stop. It's literally been, I've been going through hell and hot water trying to break this thing off. And I'm like, wow. It just goes to show, like, that scripture, when God delivers you from something or a demon, it's best to never go back to that thing again, because if you allow it back in, not only is it going to come by itself, but it's going to bring 7 other stronger demonic spirits with it. Right? So, you guys, I always tell y'all, learn from my mistakes so you ain't got to learn. I mean, go the hard route. Okay? But that's what I got. God was saying, like, if you don't decide to move, if you don't decide to make the change or do whatever you got to do before this window of opportunity closes, be prepared to be real comfortable in the position that you're in right now, because you don't know when the next one gonna come around. That's what I was getting. That's literally what he gave me. As I was talking about 3, 4, 5, I meant 4, 5, 6 to you all. That's what he was giving me for 3, 4, 5. Like, those are for the individuals who are going to be disobedient, who aren't going to do what they have to do in enough time. And it's not that God didn't want to give it to you. It's the fact that you weren't ready when it arrived. So he couldn't give it to you. You weren't ready. And a lot of times that is what has happened to a lot of the people around us, our ancestors, our family members. They kind of like what I was explaining in another video that I did this week, where you can be at a card table, right? And then you could have a bad hand, right? But, like, let's say within the whole totality of the game, you're able to get five hands. But your first hand was bad. But you're not worried because you know you're going to get another hand. But you end up going to the bathroom, right? And you're supposed to go to the bathroom and come right back. But instead of going to the bathroom and coming right back, you stopped by to get a drink. Then when you stopped by to get a drink, you ran into an old friend. Then that old friend took you to the other old friend that was sitting at their table. And then all of a sudden, an hour passed and you ain't been back to the table. And then when you go back, you notice that the game has still continued without you. It has continued without you. And now You're stuck with the same hand because you weren't at the right place at the right time. You weren't there at the table to receive your new hand, and they can't deal you your hand without you being there, because then that means somebody else gonna take your hand, your quote unquote your blessing. So it kind of works the same thing with real life in the spiritual realm. Like, y'all, God can want to bless us all day, but if we're not at the right place at the right time for where he is leaving the blessing, God ain't going to do everything for you just because he can. Okay? If that was the case, we all be millionaires and lottery winners and all of that good stuff. Okay? You have to do some of the work. That's part of it. So it's like comfortability, familiarity, or wealth. Comfortability, familiarity, or marriage. Comfortability, and so forth. So it's just like, you guys, really buckling down on the things you know you need to do. And just try your best. That's all I can say. Try your best and stay intimate with God right now. You want to stay intimate with God at all times, but definitely right now, try to consecrate yourself as much as possible and know that, man, it's big, big things on the way. Like, really, really big things on the way. And all this work that you have put in, as far as during this season of isolation, all the healing, the growing, the maturing, the having to gain patience and discipline in certain areas, and then just in every aspect, you have been really, really flourishing. And God is so proud of you because you did it without an audience. You did it without the applause of having people around cheering you on. When God knows you don't need an audience to do what you got to do, it it makes it makes it to where you're more trustworthy, because you're not doing it for a show. You're not doing it because other people will praise you for it. Because at the end of the day, it's about God getting the glory. And yeah, get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Harvest time is on the way. You're getting ready to collect. 4, 5, 6 means God of autumn, God of winter, and harvest time. We are moving into the fall, and after fall is winter, and that will be our harvest time. You guys, I love y'all so, so, so much. And I pray that this has blessed you all. Ooh, okay, wait. I didn't even see this. So real quick, for the 3, 4, 5 definition, it says on one of the bullet points, it says to recline in parentheses as a corpse or at a meal. Ooh, and God is saying that for the people that are choosing to be laid up or to recline, they're choosing to operate life as a walking corpse. That's basically what you are when you're not operating in your full authority. You're an empty shell. And God is saying he doesn't want you to be an empty shell. So tap in, tap in, tap in, okay? I love y'all. God loves you so much more. And I will talk to you beautiful people later, okay? Oh, wait. No. Actually, I'm about to hop back on here because I got another video to do. But I don't want to tie it into this message, so this one isn't too long. So make sure y'all tune in, tap in, and I will be back on here. I love y'all. God loves you so much more. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.